So, our group decided to choose Festival of Light and Motion Putrajaya event. Light and Motion Putrajaya, or LAMPU, is a regular year-end event for the past 7 years and a highlight of Putrajaya's event calendar. This event is located at Dataran Putrajaya, Precinct 3 Putrajaya. This event, which is LAMPU, is the popular event with up to 1 million visitors expected over the 4 days. This festival will transform into the fantasy of light and for activity with illuminated buildings, colorful of trees, live music, stalls, food trucks, street art, mass showcase, and more. So we decided to choose the event because we know there are a lot of risks will come from this event. As we know, this event is an outdoor event, which is a lot of people from other countries will come to this event. So it will because the crowded and many accidents. This event also using a lot of facility and equipment, especially about lighting, sound system, and more. So it will be possible for this event to get a lot of risk. Next, this event also have a lot of activity during the event. It also can cause a risk, especially for children, such as it will cause a injured or a missing child.
Alright, next move on to the risk of dimension. The first one is unpredictable weather. Unpredictable weather is a risk that can be put off or ignored. When held outdoors event, weather plays a huge role in the outcome of the event. Adverse weather can force the event to be relocated, delayed, or even cancelled. There is 4 aspects of dimension on risk will need to be attention, including the first one, property. It might be damaged where the lamps may be shut down due to the thunderstorm or heavy rains occur during the event. And for the finance, the event organizer may have to pay compensation to the damage done to the public and private properties. And for the image of the Festival of Light and Motion Putrajaya may be tarnished due to this accident. This accident may be covered by news media all over Malaysia. It might be in the future the attendees will not prefer to come over to this event again. And for the people, they do not prepare for safety to protect themselves from wet, like bring an umbrella if there is heavy rains occur. Planning for response ahead of time helps the event organizer prepare for the worst, therefore helping prevent injury to guests and keep costs under control. An example will be to plan for tents in case of light rain or to have an alternative location for the event to prevent damage or injury. Next is electrical. Electrical hazard can result in earthing, explosion, and fire. Electrical hazard can lead to blackouts, creating flow on health and safety risks to workers and even the guests. There is 4 aspects of a dimension on risk as well that will need to be focused, which are: the first one is people. The organizer cannot satisfy the attendees' expectation and purpose to attend the festival. It means that if electrical suddenly going shut down or blackout, people may feel frustrated to see the beautiful light motion from this festival. Also, an electrical hazard can cause death, electric shock, burns, and nervous and muscular system injuries. And the second one is system. If the system is not working well, all lamps that cover around event area might have a light failure, and it also can be shut down or blackouts during the event. And the third one is image. The image of this event may be tarnished due to this accident too. This accident may covered by news media all over the world. Attendees will not prefer to go to this event in the future. And the last one is finance. The event organizer may need to refund the tickets for not giving any certification to the attendees. It is important that electricity is carefully risk managed at all times due to the serious consequences that may result. All equipment must be well maintained and must not be used if it appears faulty. Workers must be trained in conducting routine inspection and must clearly understand how to report on faulty or damaged equipment. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is littering. Littering can be defined as making a place or area untidy with rubbish or incorrectly disposing waste. Carelessness has made people throw rubbish anywhere without thinking about the consequences of their action. Many people do not realize or underestimate the negative impact of littering on the environment. There is three aspects of this dimension risk, which are the first one, environment. Littering by the people who come over to the event often damage the environment surrounding the event area. The second one is people. Not enough space for people to sit around where rubbish is thrown everywhere without any concern. People also might be falsely when walking around and not realizing they step on rubbish within the event area. The last one is image. Too much waste at the venue can ruin the event image. The ideal way to handle the problem of littering is to ensure more garbage bins are installed in clear spot area for effective garbage disposal. Provide a recycle bin will be more efficient where not only educate the attendees but can even save the world. Next is overcrowded. Whether that event is a festival, a conference, or a sporting event, lots of people gathering in the same place create latent risks that can have dangerous and even fatal consequences if not controlled. Being in a crowd presents an unusual number of situations and behavior in people. A lot of people act in crowd in way that they would not act on the street by themselves, and this mentality can lead to disastrous situation if not kept in check by experienced crowd management. There is three aspects of this dimension risk will need to be attention, including the first one, people. Pickpocket or thief case may happen if there are too many people around gathered in one time at one place without they realizing it. A missing child might happen too. As any adults know, children love exploring the outdoors. Even if the adults are responsible for watching their children, do not assume they will. Attendees cannot move freely. When there are many people gathering at one time, the space will be limited where the attendees are unable to move easily, which can lead to violation to occur. The second one is property. It might be loss of property, whether either towards the public or private properties. Last one is environment. It can cause traffic management, whereby the flow of car come in and out from the event parking area. Having a controlled crowd or crowd management is vital for every large event, especially for outdoors event. It is for safety and the enjoyment of everyone in attendance, as well as minimizing complaints that may lead to a poor event review.
I will continue the next risk, which is pollution. Pollution that might occur in this event is the air pollution that made by the vendor and transportation. For the first risk dimension, which is people, every people will be sick and have difficulty in breathing due to the air pollution. The next dimension is environment, which is the air pollution itself will damage the environment surrounding the venue of the events. And lastly is the image. Too much air pollution at the venue can ruin the event's image. Okay, the next risk, which is bombing and fire, can occur due to the light in the festival, and it can be divided into four risk dimension, which is people, property, finance, and image. For the first dimension, which people, they will have a serious injury due to this bombing and fire, such as severe bleeding in the face. The next one is the property of the venue might be damaged when a fire occurs. For the finance, the organizer may have to pay all the compensation for the damages done to the public and also to the private properties. And the last one, the image of this festival may be tarnished due to this bombing and fire. And this incident may be covered by the news media all over Indonesia, and automatically attendees will not prefer to attend the event in the future. Okay, next, the food poisoning. The food that be served by the street vendors can cause the food poisoning to the attendees. That will make the health condition of the attendees will be poor, such as they might have diarrhea. For the finance, the organizer may have to pay the compensation for the medication to treat the attendees. And the last one, the food poisoning can ruin this festival's image. Okay, for the last risk, which is vandalism, we only identify two risk dimensions, which is property and image. For the property, the vandalism that made by the attendees might occur towards the facilities or the property during the event. In addition, vandalism will damage the decoration lamp at the festivals. And the last one, which is image, it seems like the other is the image of the Festival of Light and Motion Putrajaya may be tarnished due to this incident, and it may be covered by news media all over Indonesia, and automatically attendees will not prefer the event in the future. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Today I'm going to explain about risk factor for Light and Motion Putrajaya 2019 event. The first risk factor for this event is communication. Communication can cause overcrowded when event organizers are lack of staff and communication tools such as walkie-talkie. The next one is audience. Audience also one of the cause for overcrowded situation. A large number of audience will cause overcrowded situation where the audience itself will find it is hard to walk along with family. This will cause child abduction. Next risk factor for this event is environment. The environment in food stalls are unorganized and dirty. The situation is due to the people who are selling food are not adhere and not follow the business management ethics and can cause food poisoning to participants and their customers. Next, the risk factor for garbage disposal and littering is also audience. Unethical attitude of the audience who is doing littering are one of the cause for garbage disposal and littering. Despite the event organizer did not apply specific event planning on putting more trash can or dustbin around the events area is one of the reason why garbage disposal and littering happen. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, the risk of bombing and fire that might be happen in the festival. So the factor is from the compliance, where the organizer is not following the security uh, protocol, like having a metal detector or safety screening at the entrance for audience. So if security did not do their work properly, it might be a chance of audience bring something that can be ruin the festival. So the next is from the audience, where some audience are getting fight and make a riot at there and finally causes some fire. So that is the factor for this risk at the festival. Vandalism. It also the risk that might be happen in this festival. So the factor is from the emergency planning. The lack of emergency planning to handle such incident. Organizer fail to work closely with the authority to avoid this incident. It also can be from compliance. The security negligence caused the public to act vandalism at the event. Lastly, it from the audience, where irresponsible attitude of the audience causing damage to the public toilet and causing damage to the surrounding lighting features. Lastly, the risk that might be happen in this festival is pollution. So what we can identify from this risk, the factor that might be happen is from the audience, where the immoral behavior from each audience, such as smoking and vaping without care others, make the pollution of the air at the event. Maybe some audience can get faint because they cannot stand with the uh, vaping smoke. Okay, next, the factor from the environment, where the noise pollution will happen, resulting from the density of cars in the parking area, and causing them to sound the horn constantly because their car is get blocked. So that will produce the noise pollution at the festival.
Okay, next I will continue with conclusion. So firstly, to challenge the assumption of management decision in the areas of strategic planning, as well as budgeting and performance management. There are tons of resources out there to help us create a safe event. So with taking the appropriate steps of planning and risk management, the event will success without any huge risk. Like what we did, we had listed a few of risks for the festival Lampu Putrajaya. So secondly is the bad risk management reflect the organization culture, attitude and commitment. As an event organizer, we don't want to be known as the organizer that always get caught out by something. So with good risk identification processes will help the urban organizers spot anything on the horizon that has the potential to undermine our good name. So third is increase environmental pollution or fault expenses for event outside the budget. Fifth, increase crime rates. Six, not enough information because lack of communication. Seventh, racism and not respect other cultures. So, and the last one is even not happen as the plans. We all know that there is not even will success 100% as planned, like the festival Lampu Putrajaya. The obstacle is weather, since the event is outdoor event. But what we have to do is reduce all the risks that will make the event bad and not smooth. So with learn risk management, we will alert for the risk, prepare, and even team know what to do when a serious risk is identified and who should be making the decision about what to do next. So that's all from us. Yeah, thank you.